He started the day the way he always started it, walking. The trail was soft beneath him. Last fall's leaves still covered the ground, cushioning every step, holding the quiet in like something precious. No one else was out there, just him and whatever had been there long before him and would be there long after. He didn't think about where he was going later. Not yet. The morning didn't ask anything of him, and he gave nothing back but his footsteps and his attention. He stopped when he saw dewdrops sitting on the leaves, each one holding a tiny curved world inside of it, each one catching the first pale light of morning like he had been waiting all night for exactly this moment. He didn't keep moving. He just looked, and in the looking, something in him went quiet. The sun was coming up behind the tree line, and he felt it before he saw it. That first warmth arriving on his face, while the air around him was still cold and sharp and still. Two things true at the same time: the chill of what was passing and the warmth of what was coming. He stood in that thin, sacred space between him and breath. He felt small out there, genuinely, gratefully small. Not a troubled smallness, the other kind. To stand alone in the presence of something vast and unhurried. Something that does not need you, does not know your name, does not care about your performance, but to feel welcomed by it anyway. The trees didn't grade him. The morning didn't measure him. He was simply part of it, one small breathing thing among 10,000 others, and that was more than enough. He felt close to something out there, something older than any name he could give it. It lived in the water on a leaf, the light through bare branches, and the smell of last autumn, slowly returning to the earth beneath his feet. He walked 2 miles in those soft trails. He lost track of time. He was small. He was grateful. He was alive. And then the day changed. The sky over Pittsburgh was open and blue with clouds drifting through it slowly, unhurried, the way clouds move when the weather has nowhere urgent to be. It was the kind of afternoon that makes a city feel like a gift. He came across the bridge and into it. 320,000 people in the first night alone. Small bands staked out every corner, every bridge, every open stretch of pavement they could claim. The noise had no single source. It was everywhere. It was joyful, and it rose up into the blue sky and disappeared. He moved through it. He watched. At some point, he reached for his water bottle and noticed the condensation on the outside. Cold droplets gathering on warm plastic. The same water in a completely different world. He thought about the morning, about the leaves, and he kept walking. Then he found himself on the field. He stood on the floor of Acrisure Stadium and looked up. Every seat was empty. 68,000 of them rising at a great curved wall on every side, tier upon tier, silent and waiting. He turned slowly and took it all in. This was the view the athletes have, not the fans' view looking down at men who seemed small from a distance. The players' view is looking up at the full, unbroken weight of human expectation, stacked 68,000 seats high, pressing down in every direction with nowhere to hide and nothing to soften it. He stood there and felt something he hadn't expected to feel. He felt it for them, for the young men who would stand in this exact spot, who had worked their whole lives for the chance to stand here and look up at all of that. No forest to dissolve into, no leaves to blend with, No morning light that asked nothing of him, just grass and lights and the bare exposed fact of being watched and measured and judged by 60,000 strangers who came specifically to see what you're made of. At North Park that morning, he felt alone but held by something that didn't need him to perform. Here, the loneliness had no such comfort. Here, a man stands and the crowd does not hold him. It watches him. It waits for him. It expects things from him that he may or not yet know if he can give. He thought about that wait. He thought about what that wait might feel like before a single play is made. When you're still only a promise. When everything is still possible and nothing has been proven. 60,000 people are already certain they know exactly what you owe them. He stood there longer than he probably should have. He hoped they were ready. He hoped someone will tell them it was allowed to be afraid. He stepped back outside in the afternoon. The sky was still blue. The clouds were still drifting. The bands were still playing on the bridges, and the crowds were still moving in every direction, and the city was still giving everything it had for this day. He reached for his water bottle and drank. The cold drops on the outside caught the afternoon light. He thought about the morning, about dew on leaves, in the quiet park where the city slept, about how the same water finds its way into everything, the trail, the leaf, the bottle, the river, the clouds moving slow and unhurried overhead. He kept walking. He crossed the bridge among the hundreds of thousands of people and thought about what to make of the day. He didn't arrive at anything clean. The morning had given him smallness as a gift, the kind that frees you. The stadium had shown him smallness as a burden, the kind that is placed on you by others, whether you are ready for it or not. The crowd around him now felt like neither. It felt like life moving at full volume, indifferent and joyful and enormous, carrying him along with it, whether he had figured out anything or not. He watched. The bus would come, you would ride it home, and the day would become a memory, and the memory would become something he turned over slowly for a long time afterward, looking for what it meant. The way you turn a stone in your hand and notice something different about it every time the light changes. He didn't have the answer yet. He was still on the bridge. He kept walking.